right, everyone, and welcome to a special, fun, action-packed edition, TrainWorld Facebook Live with the one and only Ken Silvestri of Broadway Limited Trains. How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing great. Hello and welcome to Florida, everyone.
That's it. You're bringing a little bit of sunshine to New York. And hopefully you don't bring anything else with you.
Absolutely not.
So these are great because right now it's tough to get into hobby shops all around, and it's not only New York or Florida, just all around. It's a tough situation. So we're trying to provide some light comedy and maybe some informative expertise for you for some Broadway limited trains, and they make some beautiful HO and N scale products. And Ken's going to go through a couple of new products, and we're going to pick his brain and go over a couple of things. And Ken, is this your first Facebook Live that's not in state?
Yes, it is, and it's what I really do miss are the train shows.
Yeah.
Where I get to meet people and see them and show them, and they can pick it up and I can talk to them. And I've missed that so much. And from what I can tell, the train shows are canceled until all through next year almost. So
yeah.
It's a pleasure to do this.
Yeah, it's a crazy time. And, all train shows are kind of like have been the backbone of the hobby. I mean, my grandfather got started with train shows. You're at a train show like every other week, and I think Bob does it on purpose. But it's great to see everyone at the train shows, and hopefully we get back in action. But
this is the next best thing.
That's right. So what do you have for us, Ken?
I'm going to start off with an N scale steam locomotive, and that locomotive is the Paragon 3 Rolling Thunder Mikado in N scale, a USRA locomotive. And can you get a good look at it? My fingers are kind of obscuring a lot of it, but it's a very nice locomotive. Great sound. When we first were getting into N scale, we were told N scalers don't want steam; they only want diesel. Well, I always felt they never had good steam. So here we are, and our customers seem to love them, and it's one after the other for the steam locomotives.
Yeah, and you're bringing that same quality that everybody knows you in HO scale and bringing it to N scale. And it's funny, up until a couple of years ago, there was no sound in N scale. And now it's kind of like sacrilegious if you don't put sound in N scale, which you guys are coming out with all these new engines with sound, in N scale, which is great.
Now the road names for the Mikados are ATSF, CNJ, L&N, Milwaukee, Missouri Pacific, Southern, Western Pacific. Those are the heavy Mikados. And the light Mikados are Canadian National, Maine Central, Nickel Plate, New York Central, Rock Island, Pensy, Seaboard, Union Pacific, and unpainted, unlettered. So there's almost everybody's road name is there, and they're available right now.
Wow. Yep. They're in stock, and great engines, beautiful, and a lot of pulling power. I mean, it's a large steam locomotive that's great, runs smooth, beautiful, and really cool with the sound. I enjoy seeing the sound come out of these little engines. It's just unbelievable.
I see the board that it's the exact same board that's in the HO, just shrunk down.
Yeah.
And I think it's almost magic. I really do. The sound is spectacular.
Very cool. And you also, for N Scale 2, do have some PAs and also F3s that you guys just announced. And I actually have a video of your, let's see here. A video on your YouTube page for PA and PB. If you could see it, I'm going to play it. And that's Union Pacific and the PA. And I think these are pretty new, right, Ken?
Yes, they are. And they're also in stock.
These are PA, beautiful. And the PAs and PBs, that's Ken Silvestri. Yes, he's a YouTube sensation. And these are the F3s, F7s, and they did very well.
Yeah. The sound and the operation is spectacular.
And as you can tell, the detail on these PAs and PBs is just really nice.
It's just a typical Broadway product. And I can never say how proud I am of our products across the board.
Yep. And one thing I will mention, you're growing out the beard, and I think I'm trying to, but it's taken me 15 years to grow this. But
I haven't shaved this part in about 20 years now, and I don't miss it. You know, the first thing you do is you used to get up and find the sharpest thing in the house and scrape your face with it, and then I don't miss it at all.
Yeah, that's funny. And what do you, I guess, have for us in HO scale then?
All right, our next locomotive is one of the most revolutionary locomotives in history, and that's the Paragon 3 Rolling Thunder F3s, F7s. And this is the New York Central. And what's unique about it is that the lightning stripe starts here. And this was as delivered in 1939, and it's called the short lightning stripe. And again, when I first saw it, I called Matt and I said, Matt, is this right?
Interesting.
I had never seen it before. But it is accurate, and there it is.
That's funny. Really nice, beautiful.
And the B unit. And how we sell our F units, it's a powered unit and a non-powered unit. And then we have extra power units available if you need more power.
Very cool. Beautiful stuff. And I'm going to share that video with you as well that you most recently did on your YouTube channel. And that's the Burlington. And you guys really came out with a lot of different road names on this as well.
Yeah, I have the road names. In the F3s, it's Santa Fe, CB and Q, Great Northern, Pennsy, Southern Pacific, Union Pacific. And in the F7s, Santa Fe, Baltimore and Ohio, Denver and Rio Grande, Milwaukee, New York Central, Northern Pacific, BRR, single stripe, and unpainted.
Very cool. And these actually came to the dealers and to us in, I believe, like the past 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and they've definitely been flying off the shelves. I had to reorder a couple of times. So really nice engine. And I mean, you can't go wrong with the F3. I mean, it's everybody needs one.
It's the transition locomotive, in my opinion.
Yep. Before we get off topic to the next one.
Okay. And here we go.
Everybody's calling you Famous Ken. I think they're making a mistake, Ken. I think they're talking about the wrong Ken. That's funny.
Ready for the next guy?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right. And here we have my favorite rolling rectangle. And it is the Rolling Thunder Paragon 3 P5A electric. I think this one model of the year. And this is one of the models that the more you look at it, the more you fall in love with it. And it's beautiful. And train guys know what I mean when I say it's beautiful. A lot of people look at it and go, beautiful. It's a train, but look at this locomotive. It's just outstanding.
Really nice. And quite honestly, that's a fantasy paint scheme, but it is the best-selling version. Yes. It's unbelievable. I know a lot of people, who model the accurate, or very prototypical, but you guys have to understand a lot of people like different things and they sell well. It's unbelievable the amount of orders.
And the fantasy schemes help us make numbers to produce the prototypical one. So it's a win-win for everybody. Again, look at this guy. It's just stunning.
Really nice.
Just stunning.
Really nice. And the artwork, the paint, it just looks crisp and clean.
Yes, our guys do just a wonderful job. And let's see, I'll check my notes. It comes in 9 different Pensy schemes, freight and passenger. And then there's the three fantasy schemes that we were talking about: the Central, the Great Northern, and Milwaukee. And they show the colors and the beauty of those flags. Just very fine nice locomotives.
Here's the artwork, and that was the New York Central that they just showed. And here's the P5 box cab coming up. And you guys were really the first ones to create this, maybe like a year or two ago. It was never done before in HO scale.
And honestly, when I first saw the pictures and we talked about it, I looked at it and it's like, it's a rectangle. Okay, let's see. At Broadway, we always have a philosophy is that until we try it, we don't know. We can guess, but we don't know. So we went ahead with it. And once we all saw the model, we just kind of fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And anyone that sees it, it's even at the shows, it's a showstopper where people will go by, and whether they're Pensy fans or not, they just take time and soak it in.
Yeah. Without a doubt, it's a beautiful looking engine, and the first run, the amount of orders that we received was incredible. It was really highly anticipated, and now you guys sold out so quickly. You're announcing this second run, but now with different paint schemes, just really awesome stuff. And I think there's also a Milwaukee paint scheme as well.
Right. The 3 fantasies are New York Central, Great Northern, and Milwaukee. And
very cool.
The shipment has landed in California, so you'll be expecting it next week.
Really? Wow. Very
Yes.
Cool. So get your orders in, because I believe the New York Central P5A is already sold out from Broadway, correct?
It's sold out at Broadway.
Okay. I think we have some left, but we're going to try to scrap together a couple of more. But that's crazy. It's just a really great looking engine. So get your pre-orders in on that for sure.
And what you may not realize is that this is all die cast, and the amount of workmanship and craftsmanship in this die casting is extraordinary.
Yeah.
I know I go on and on about it, but every time I see it, it's so amazing. So amazing.
Will that work with your Rolling Thunder, subwoofer, all those components?
100%.
Great.
Everything we make now is Paragon 3, and we've been able to add the bass frequencies that are naturally, you hear it with a locomotive.
Yeah.
So it just completes the experience. It's like, oh, I've heard good sound. Well, not without the bass. Once you add the bass frequencies, it becomes more real.
Well, maybe you should tell everybody out there the story you were telling me, how many complaints you were getting from the neighbors that the subwoofer was too loud.
And, guys will tell me, my wife hates it, but I play it loud. Because it is the real sound. It's just, mild railroading's an illusion. It's not real. But we make the trains look real. Guys make the scenery look real, and the sound and the subwoofer just completes the image of what you have and what you see, and it transforms you.
Yeah, instead of just a visual, you're getting the complete 3D effect, and it's wild. It really is cool. And quite honestly, even in the store, when you come in and we turn up the volume and really have your engines running, it's just unbelievable. People get addicted. It's just awesome. Really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And hopefully we could do that soon. We want to open up. It's we're tired. But,
it's a tough time. It is.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things we have an advantage for with the model railroaders, is that I expect by this train season to see some spectacular layouts out there, because I've talked to a number of people that are saying, "Oh, I have all this time and I can work on my railroad, and it's not like I should be doing something else. Yeah. I'm doing this." So in a way, they're thrilled with, making lemons out of lemonade, I guess.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And Cameron actually had a good question. How does the subwoofer work? And I believe it's a separate purchase from that we do carry and sell. And if you have a Broadway limited Paragon 3 locomotive and you put it on the track, I believe it syncs to the subwoofer, correct, Ken?
How it works is that the sound file resides within the locomotive. We filter out the low frequencies, send them by radio waves to a receiver, which is hardwired to the sub. And the bass sounds are omnidirectional. So it just appears like it's coming out of the locomotive. The mid-range and the high frequencies are still coming from the locomotive. So it fools your eye. You follow it and the sound follows the locomotive.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool. And you're getting a lot of different requests on what to make. So you, Matt, and Bob are going to have to peek back on here and just sift through all these comments on what to make and what everybody's options. I'm sure you get a ton of them regardless.
We do. And at the shows, it's funny. Wherever I am, that's the railroad I get bombarded with. You got to make this. And then, we try to make a variety of locomotives. Of course, we have to make what sells. That's what we do. And sometimes we're surprised, occasionally poorly, but very, very rarely. It's the decisions to make what locomotives to make is difficult.
Yeah, without a doubt. And before we derail and get off topic, let's go to the last and really awesome engine that you're going to be showing everyone, and I'm really amped about this, Ken.
Yeah, this will knock your socks off. It's the Paragon 3 Rolling Thunder.
Drum roll.
Rolling Thunder PRR K4 Streamlined.
Wow.
And this is the bronze version. This is how it was initially delivered.
Wow.
Look at that nose.
Very cool.
Synchronized smoke. die cast, quality throughout. I'm always impressed by the wheels. I don't know if you can see them there. It's hard to see, I guess, but the detail and the sharpness of them is outstanding.
Can you zoom in on the nose again?
Okay, and now this is the bronze version. And soon after, the Pennsy Railroad changed it to their more traditional Brunswick green color. And this is the one I like the best. It's, I think the colors just explode. And this has a little bit different nose on the front. It's a Raymond Loewy locomotive design. It's just outstanding.
That's
Just
gorgeous, Ken.
Let's see on the notes. Oh, it's
that engine is just really gorgeous, and that smokes as well, right?
yes, synchronized smoke, rolling thunder, and it should be in stores at your place in about maybe 10 days.
Very cool. So this is arriving to us in 10 days around.
Should be.
Wow. So figure this upcoming month in July, this is going to be at your doorsteps. The pre-order numbers on this, Ken, are through the roof. I mean, it's crazy. Just
That's wonderful to hear.
A real big seller. And it's a huge road name. I mean, everybody loves Pennsylvania. It's probably one of the most common railroads that people collect. So it's definitely one of those trophy mantelpiece engines.
Pennsy was the standard of the world.
Yeah. And Claire, I know you're asking about price. I'm not sure at the top of my head, but we do have them listed. We still have some room on them. We are taking back orders still. It's a great engine, and I'm going to share actually the video that Ken did with it as well. We'll get Ken up and running. And let's see here. He shows it off in his video too. And that's the bronze one. That's really cool. And you kind of have to have one of each.
Yeah. I could never find out why they painted it bronze in the beginning, why it came that way initially.
Yeah, does
I'm
anybody
sure there's a reason.
Does anybody on Facebook know the reason? I'd like to know. And just type in the comment box. Love to hear your thoughts. Usually our guys are very knowledgeable that are commenting. And just look at that run. Really cool. That's really neat, Ken.
Thank you.
People are going to drool over this one for sure.
They're going to like it.
And it brings you back to that era. Like you feel like you took a time machine back in time and really get the golden age of trains and the railroad and building everything. So that's really cool. I would like to have that on my layout for sure.
Cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
I know somebody. He'll set you up.
Thank you. And I guess anything else coming out, any announcements or anything we should be out on the lookout for, or those were like the big Krups one that's coming out?
We've gone to this first come and first serve, and we typically announce it when it's about ready to hit the ship. And the reason we did that is because we really are unable to anticipate and schedule and tell people when they're coming. And the Streamlined K4 is a great example. It was put in a catalog a couple years ago, and it's finally getting out. So people have been waiting and waiting and waiting. So we want to do away with that. And that's why we do the first come, first serve. As soon as it hits the ship and it's ready to go, we send out all the information, and Kenny gets it and he lets you know.
Yeah, so, it's a crazy thing because as soon as you send the email to the distributors, we contact them all and see what we need, and it's kind of like a frenzy. And you guys really do a good thing with and changing it up, because it adds that excitement for the dealers buying, knowing that we got to buy them all, or just run to keep on stocking it. So it's definitely interesting. And when do you normally announce new items in the beginning of the month or end of month, or just when you know something's coming out?
When we know it's getting ready to ship.
Gotcha. Very good. And I'm sure it seems like everyone on this chat and commenting know you can. So that's a testament to you. You should probably start your own podcast, the Ken Silvestri Show.
It's because I'm old.
I don't know about that. You got the spunk and charisma of a 30-year-old.
Yeah, I'm a 59-year-old, right?
Yeah. That's
Thank
good.
you so much. I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you coming on, and I always appreciate your visits to the store, even though sometimes you can't make it, or things always seem to happen, whether it's snow or whatever. We always love to have you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I enjoy coming.
Yep. And we'll try to answer a bunch of your questions on the chat board afterwards, and we appreciate it. Ken's going to look at all these requests. You're getting tons of N scale big boy challenger requests.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. And
who knows?
That would be good. And also they want another round of HO big boys too. And it's amazing. No matter how many big boys you make, Ken, people are still going to want a big boy.
It's a magical locomotive. It just is.
And quite honestly, you guys make an amazing big boy. I mean, the smoke on yours is just amazing.
Thank you so much.
And
like I said, we're so proud of what we do, and we always just try to make cool locomotives, as cool as we can get them.
Now, Ken, there are some other locomotives that you did announce that haven't come out yet. Is there an ETA on future products, or
excuse me? No, and it really is that first come, first served, and that's why we've kind of gotten away from that, because if the orders aren't there, or if it takes sometimes it takes time to get the orders, and people all know about it, and then we run into different problems, the factory queue, the tooling. And one thing I want to talk about with tooling is that we've never gotten a sample the first time back from new tooling that was okay. It always goes back and forth until it's right. Tooling's about the same price as an average house. So we want it to be right, and it's a big investment. So again, it can take 2 years of just going back and forth till it's okay. Now it's ready.
I don't think a lot of people out there realize the cost and expense of actually manufacturing a engine. I mean, let's get this straight. It's the cost of a home, your entire house, just for the molds. That's not for making it or anything. Just for the molds. That's really just mind-boggling.
Then you add, things like the electronics, which is a sizable amount of money. But quality cost, and it takes time. And we're willing to do that. And some of our customers, you know, they want it faster. I understand that. But when they get it, they're not disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're still rooting for the Commodore New York Central locomotive. That, I mean, when you announced that, the amount of orders on that was crazy. So I hope it really it comes out in the future. And I do think you have a section on your site that shows updated timelines and all that stuff. So that's great. And it's a great thing that you guys are making great product. So we really appreciate it. And it makes our job easier when the product is good, Ken.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But we love what we do.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure.
Yeah. Well, I thank you very much, Ken, for joining us tonight and giving us an update on your product. And please stop by virtually more often. And I think this was good. We got you on camera, and we rolled you out of bed, and we got you working. Bob's gonna owe you overtime now.
And everything.
Thank
you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And for everyone out there, thank you so much for joining us. Please go to TrainWorld.com for any pre-orders or all your stuff in stock. TrainWorld.com. Thank you for everything. We appreciate it. And thank you very much, Ken. Thank you for joining us.
Be safe, and I hope to see you all soon.
Take care, guys.